You guys ready?
Sure am.
I'm a little nervous.
All right. This is our first episode of the Artist Roundtable. If you direct your attention over here, this is our roundtable. Exactly how we drew it up.
They make sense. There we go.
I'm John Kilmer. We have Tim Weber here, and we have Jgriff. If you're watching this, you're probably already well familiar. We are, I guess, the staff of the artist community.
Yes, we are. We are founding members, currently only staff of it, and very, very excited to be here.
Tim, for those just joining us for the first time, what is the artist community?
The artist community, our tagline is, it's a home for artists to learn, collaborate, and thrive together. Realistically, it is a positive environment for artists to have a safe space to get feedback, find people to collaborate with, learn, ask questions without being judged. And yeah, it's just a really, really fun place to be in. And it's free to join the artist community.
Now,
Well said.
Yeah, the artist community started almost exactly a year ago. And we started with a Nick D contest where we did a song submission contest, and the winner won a free collab with Nick D.
And $1,000.
And $1,000. And Nick is such a sweetheart. He picked how many winners? 2?
We had 2 winners and we made up a runner-up. So technically we had 3 people.
Yeah. So that was kind of the genesis of the artist community. And since then, we've been doing awesome things like live streams, like our Tackler. What does Tackler stand for?
The Artist Community Live Music Review.
Yeah, there you go.
Or live review.
Exactly. I said it as a joke and the name stuck, and I don't know why we ran with it, but we did.
Tackler.
Also, I don't know if anybody remembers, but the AP Collective, who won one of the 2 Nick D collab spots, they've done they went up to Culpepper. I think they did 8+ songs with Nick that haven't come out that we've heard. But Romcom, when they dropped theirs, I can't remember if anybody remembers the stats, but the song did unbelievably well.
Last time I checked,
cool
it was over 250,000. I want to say 263,000 in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And I think at the time they hadn't had a song over 100,000, and
I think it was over 20,000.
Yeah, very
Crazy.
cool.
Man.
Very, very cool.
So since we started this a year ago, we've met a ton of incredible artists that are super talented, that have been joining our live streams week after week, that have been coming to the headquarters. We're in the headquarters right now, Group HQ, which an exciting place to be here in Nashville. And Jgriff moving here pretty soon, question mark?
Definitely. Question mark. Approved.
Approved. We just need the date.
Yeah.
I just need a date.
We have a lot of exciting things that are in the pipeline for the artist community. We're going to be doing free media days starting tomorrow. Artists are going to book out slots, and we're going to shoot a bunch of content for them here on the house, and a lot of exciting things coming up. So I wanted to kind of start just by us talking a little bit about ourselves and how we even got here in the first place.
I would love to do that. I would also just like to mention a quick caveat as to how the artist community came to be.
Yeah.
Was the first iteration of this was a podcast that was originally started by Connor Price and his wife Bree. Shout out them, who also live right outside Nashville. They brought in our friend Nick D to the independent podcast. When Connor and Bree left, and it was mainly just Nick, it was asked that I come in. And as we all know, I normally don't like being on camera or talking, and I knew somebody that did. And so the next iteration of the independent podcast was Nick and John right here, and I would just kind of help organize and do that. And then as we'd kind of double down on Grouped and the platform that this is hosted on theartistcommunity.com, we kind of realized that it made more sense rather than just have one independent podcast that realistically we didn't build from the ground up, and Connor and Bree did. And there was more potential than just the podcast in terms of contests and live music reviews and all of that. That we decided having a free community where we can do a podcast like this, but we can also do infinitely other things on a platform that we all believe in, was kind of the genesis of how we got here. And there wasn't really much other thought than let's bring value to the community on a more grand scale. But also just wanted to pay the respects to the independent podcast because I know how many people still binge watch it to this day, and it was valuable. And I hope Connor Bree, whichever camera it is, that you guys know that we appreciate all the momentum that led into this, but also we can't wait to have you guys here at the Roundtable.
Yeah, 100%. And I think all this is created from an educational standpoint, because being an independent artist or just being an artist at all, it's a fucking shit show.
It's so hard to navigate.
Now, all of us come from different backgrounds. I've primarily spent most of my career working with one artist. Tim's worked with a shit ton of artists, and Jgriff is an artist himself. So we all come from unique perspectives. And Jgriff, you know more than anyone probably that being an artist is hard.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's really hard. I kind of just wanted to talk about how we all got here, because we all have such like interesting backstories, and we all come from different backgrounds. And I think together we kind of form a great team to help artists, and I kind of wanted to get into it a little bit. So,
you know what? I would love to do that, and I feel like it would make sense if we're all going to tell our journeys to start at the beginning of somebody's journey in the music industry, which would mean I think the oldest person here probably should.
Age before beauty. That's why they call me Uncle John.
There you go, Funkle John.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like even though I'm a little older than you, we kind of started around the same time, probably.
I would say probably the exact same year. We probably, just you stayed in college, I think, a little bit longer than I did. I think that was really the only difference.
Yeah, it's funny that we're starting yet another podcast, or I'm starting yet another podcast. I've been quite the journeyman with podcasts. I've really been. What's like an athlete that's like considered an ultimate journeyman? Like a football player.
What's the football player that has like 20 different jerseys? Hasselbeck? No, he's retired.
Or like Fitzpatrick or something like
this
that.
This is way out of my wheelhouse.
That's what I was thinking.
Fitzpatrick's been on like 10 different teams. That's how I'm like the Fitzpatrick of podcasts. I started podcasting with Mike on the Y&K podcast, and then we did a podcast with Johnny Manziel, and then I did my own podcast, The Power Hour. Then I did the independent podcast with Nick, and now I'm doing this podcast with y'all. And
that's a fistful of rings right there.
Whoa.
So in the podcast world, quite the journeyman, been kind of traveling around doing a bunch of different shows, and that's been awesome. This one I'm very most excited about, because we get to reach a ton of artists, and we get to work with a ton of artists. So I'm super pumped about that, and we have a great community.
Amen. Great community. We got a great team. It's not all on you. And also, shout out to Ryan and Winning House, which is part of the HQ that we're at right now, the production team. I will give a shout out to John, who to me is one of the best video producers and storytellers that I know. You guys have seen some of the documentaries he's done.
That's so nice.
In addition to featuring a full-length film that he's done and producing a comedy special and all of that. But to have a headquarters like this that is friends who work together, also with somebody like Ryan, who you were able to meet, and have this all come full circle, and now get to do a podcast in this space that's not all on you. I hope is really fun.
It is awesome. And also, Ryan's right over there. Shout out Ryan for just really taking care of the plants in this facility. The plants just look incredible. He's quite the horticulturist. Really good job, Ryan. Good job.
Multicolored. You know what? Diversity in each leaf. Love it.
They don't call him Miracle Grow for nothing. He's got a green thumb, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Heck yeah.
Oh man. Well, I don't want to get too deep into the backstory, because I mean we all have such incredible journeys. We could talk forever, but the way I met Tim, I met you, or I started talking to you 14 years ago, 2011 probably.
Yep.
Maybe even 20.
I think it was 2010.
Maybe even 2010.
Email. Yep.
I started working with artists in college. I went to Hofstra in Long Island. I worked with a handful of people in the Long Island scene and kind of like the tri-state area and like Philly and that area. And all these artists, like the hot thing to do and like the best thing that could happen for you as an artist was to get your songs or your music videos posted on a music blog. Because during the blog era, that was music discovery at its finest. When you were discovering music, you're either looking up on the music blogs or you're on detpiff.com, or how else do you even discover music back then, up and coming
iTunes,
artists?
you just stare at the iTunes charts maybe? I have no idea.
So with all the up and coming artists I was working with, everyone wanted to get on the music blogs, and the best music blog, hands down, thissongsick.com. Just kidding.
Yeah, shout out Nick.
Just kidding. Goodmusicallday.com, which was owned by this guy right here. And everyone wanted to get on that blog. And as I was producing music and shooting music videos, and I had that really flamboyant pink circle logo on all my work.
JKS.
A lot of the work was getting featured on goodmusicallday.com because Tim is just a fucking great guy, and he was featuring all the work. And then we started to talk and get to know each other, and I started doing contests on his site, which he put on, which again, total sweetheart for. So we got to know each other a very long time ago. And
also, I don't want to downplay those contests because the crazy thing about the contest, he would put out an entire mixtape of beats that he produced for free for artists to be able to download, make songs to. And then we'd pick the best song, and then he would shoot a music video for free. So like when you talk about over delivering and free value, everything an artist needs at that time, they got free production, a free music video, and free promotion for it. And it worked for artists that have gone on to have songs with 1 billion streams like Arizona Zervis.
Yeah, that's actually wild.
I feel like we should bring that back for one contest, just a little throwback Thursday action.
Yeah.
We used one of the beats from 15 years.
I listened back at those beats the other day on SoundCloud, and some of them
Abraham Lincoln.
Some of them are kind of crazy. But this will segue really nicely into Jgriff's story. But I like, from what you were saying, like putting all that stuff out there for artists and doing a bunch of different stuff and like just collaborating with as many people as possible, providing as much value as possible, not really thinking about the results or how much money you're making in the beginning. That's what I attribute to being here today, 100%. Of just like, I like doing these contests, working with all these artists, working with hundreds of artists, not charging a lot or not charging anything in the beginning, and just like getting out there and just putting yourself out there, mastering your craft, trying a bunch of different things. That is Jgriff to a motherfucking T.
Amen.
I tend to get obsessed over the things I'm interested in, and
same.
I just go full
same.
steam ahead.
And I attribute, like, I see you, and like you're a good decade younger than me, maybe even more. And I'm like, man, that's like, I see a lot of myself in you. Pause.
You had to make it weird.
I had to make it weird, but I do. And like, I see like, and I've only known you for a year or two, but like I've seen like you're come up and you're talented at so many different things, and you're not hustling people and trying to make as much money as possible. You're just trying to like get in the room and provide value and network in a very genuine way. And that's why you're here now. And that's why you're excelling so quickly. And that's why everyone fucks with you so heavy. So I just wanted to,
thank you, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that because it's just, you're doing things the right way, in my opinion. And I think that's why we all work together, because we kind of share all those same values. So round of applause.
Could not agree more.
So segue to your story, man. How did you get here?
That's a great question. I don't know how I got here. All just one big happy accident. But I started making music in high school. I dropped my first album right before I graduated, and I thought that was going to be it. I just wanted to make an album just to say I learned how to do that.
Were you already a sponsored skateboarder at this point?
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
Something light.
Yeah, so just, yeah. When he says jack of all trades, somebody who works hard, gets obsessed with anything, yeah, I mean, in high school, started making music at a time where he already has another hobby outside of school that he's sponsored for.
Yeah, I guess I should back it up a little bit. So when I was 10, I started skateboarding. I'm 26 now. Skateboarding was my whole life. Told my parents and everybody I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to be a pro skater. And in the skate community, I kind of felt like I hit a ceiling. And that's when I started to like really find interest in like art and music. Mm-hmm. So when I got to college, I would make music. It was mini fridge, microwave, microphone. That was my setup. Stacked it all up.
Triple M's. Love it.
And people would come over. I would record them, mix their stuff, do their artwork. Word got around campus, and I was like the guy where like when people needed to make stuff, I would just tell them to come over.
This is
a lot of times.
That is literally my exact.
I was about to say this is like
my exact same backstory.
We're gonna make a biopic, and it's gonna be he's gonna play you. Yep, and we're gonna tell him just make the biopic about yourself.
I could be
Dad.
Are you my drone? Am I not drone? Are you my clone? I got camera brain. Sorry.
But yeah, after that, I was just like trying to make artwork for as many people as possible. And I used to, I guess I still am. I'm a demon in the DMs. I would DM every artist.
Damn, that's a bar right there.
Demon
Demon
in
in
the
the
DMs.
DMs. Wow. The new D&D.
That's crazy. But I would DM every music artist I listened to. And I'd be like, yo, I really rock with your stuff. I would love to make a cover art or a t-shirt.
That's so
or I guess
crazy.
at that time, it wasn't even merch. I was so bad at making shirts at that time, but we'll get into that. It was mainly just cover art and just flyers and stuff like that. And Spotify canvases, just anything I could do. And most people told me no. And I was okay with that because I'm like, there will be someone who says yes. And that's what I was chasing. Someone who would just give me a chance. And one of the first people who really gave me a chance was the rapper Futuristic. And
Shout out, Zach.
I interned for him. I think I was his first intern ever. And he was my favorite rapper. And I listened to him since I was like 13. So I was like, what is going on? This is crazy. And that's how I met Tim over at Indie Amplify. And it's funny because at Indie, I don't think we talked once. I would see him on like Zoom calls, but like we never got to like converse and go back and forth. And then, yeah, I just kept doing my thing and we reconnected on Instagram. And he was like, I would love to show you this new platform I'm working on. And we hopped on a call, showed me groups. And I'm like, dude, if you ever need anything design-wise, like, I got you. I'm your guy. Didn't think he would ever reach out to me. And then one day we played phone tag, literally for 15 hours. He would call, I want to answer. I would call, he want to answer. The whole day. We finally reached each other at midnight. He was like, hey, dude, this is kind of urgent. I'm like, if it was urgent, you should have texted me like, I need you right now. And it was actually about an episode of the Independent Podcast. You and Nick filmed an episode and the video file became corrupt. So
That's
you
right.
needed visuals. So
Which was with my buddy Kayvon, who is head of A&R at Genius and World Star Hip Hop. Also worked with me at Good Music All Day. So shout out Kayvon. He's has his own community that if you're in the artist community, you should 100% join. Check him out on Instagram and stuff. But
For sure.
big Discord, just another great community to be in. Shout out him. But it is full circle because I remember being like, man, I don't know what I'm doing with the Independent Podcast. We're like 4 episodes in that I'm doing, and I'm in a panic. And
Yeah,
he
and-
picked up, right away. That midnight, I think you had it delivered by noon the next day. You had like a YouTube thumbnail, the graphic art. I think you even sent me new versions of the logo. You know, just went above and beyond. I was like, I'm in a panic. And you were like, here's brand stuff.
thank you, dude. Yeah, I mean, I was just excited because at that time I was doing a lot of landscaping too. Like I was doing freelance design, but like I would mow lawns and listen to the Independent Podcast. So when you called and you were like, I need help with this, I'm like, are you kidding? I'm down. That sounds like a dream to me.
Wow.
So
And this was
That
like
was
2
super
years
cool.
ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Like the past 2 years for you, I feel like it's been insane.
It's been wild,
Like
bro.
you-
I still can't process it.
Yeah, like just from being open to anything and just working a bunch, and I mean, well deserved to end up here. Well deserved. And,
Thank you.
And like you're at the point now where like I'll toss you freelance gigs, and you're like, "Nah, I'm too busy."
I feel bad,
No,
but
you shouldn't feel bad. Like to be in a position where you can turn down jobs is the ultimate position.
I had to
Took me
say-
forever to get to that point, and you should be very like proud of yourself for being there.
thank you.
Yeah, I'm
I
proud.
had to say yes to everything for so long.
Yeah.
And I see what I really find fun and what I find enjoyment in. And I just want to put all my energy into that. So if I'm not like head over heels interested in a project, I'm not going to take it on because that's going to take away from my other work.
Yeah.
And I'm trying my best to just stick true to that. And hopefully it'll lead me in the right place.
And it did, because after the Independent Podcast, I believe it was like you shooting another shot because you had already done the Independent Podcast. So there's an in with Nick, and you saw something else. So yeah, what was the
Yeah.
couple steps right before being here?
So right before I was on the phone with my friend Nate Good. If you guys don't know him, check out his music.
Fuck you, Nate.
Dude's super talented, one of my favorite writers of all time. And he told me he's been helping Nick write and record a new album. I'm like, oh, that's sick. Honestly, I don't even really know if this is like politically correct of me, but I'm like, I was going through a tough time and I'm like, you know what? I just need like something to chase after. I'm like, I got to double down and just see what I could do. And I DM Nick like, hey dude, I was talking to Nate. I heard you're working on a new album. Now looking back, I don't know if that was like the right thing to do, but he was like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm happy to like design something in any way. And I didn't even know like what that meant. Is that single covers, album cover, merch, whatever? And he was like, yeah, it's on those 2000s like basketball vibes or something. And that's all he told me. And I just stared at a blank canvas for a week like, what do? I don't even have an album title. I don't know anything. And then I finally hit up Nate. I'm like, do you guys have a name yet? And he told me Sycamore. And I'm like, all right, cool. So then I made logos and sent them to Nate, and I just assumed he sent them over. And I DM'd Nick like a week after that. I'm like, yo, did Nate ever show you what I cooked up? And he was like, no, send them here. I'm like, no, Nate, you were supposed to send those. It's okay, Nate, I still love you. And I sent it to Nick, and at that time I was still like not totally in tune with the whole like brand package thing, but I knew I just didn't want to send like a black and white logo. So I put it on a shirt. He's like, oh, I have the album cover, but I don't have any merch yet. We should brainstorm some ideas. So this is still mind blowing to me because I've done merch for a lot of artists, and I think I mocked up like 2 hats, couple shirts, a hoodie, and I sent it over to Nick, and I'm like, let me know which ones you like and what you want me to change, and we could go from there. And he's like, I'll take everything. And that's never happened at this point. Like, normally artists are pretty picky, and he was super easy to work with. We ended up running all those pieces. And
I think right even before the merch was he had an album cover, but you actually like redid and made the album cover a little bit better because
I remember that day.
It was a little bit late and you redid it. And I remember I texted it to him because you had also sent it.
Yeah.
And when we were talking he had brought up the merch thing, and I knew that you had already sent some. And then I wish if we clipped this, I still have the screenshots, was the very first FaceTime of you and Nick. And I think Nick is shirtless, and like the smile on your face the entire time, I like just kept screenshotting. I was like, this is what life's all about. This is awesome. Yeah.
Dude, I was so excited. Yeah. I really wanted the album cover. So when he sent me the album cover, I'm like, we should go with the font from the merch, make it all cohesive. And I sent it in a bunch of different sizes because I know Tim was like, Nick likes options, just send him some options. So I sent him some options. I was out to dinner with my family, got the text from Nick, yo, I'm swapping it out to this one. That's unheard of, to have an artist like Nick D already upload the album, people already pre-saved it, they saw the cover art, and he changed it to my cover. That was mind-blowing.
That was badass.
I booked a tattoo appointment like right after. It's on my knee.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take my pants off in this episode,
Not
but maybe
yet.
in a
Take
future one.
it off. Then that is on our private page on the artist community.
Whoa.
$9.99.
Yep. Just kneecaps.
Yeah, but doing the whole rollout for Sycamore, it just kind of let me know that anything's possible if you put your mind to it, and you just like, I never really like thought about manifesting things, but I think I'm kind of good at it because like I just like have an idea, execute the idea, it happens. Mm-hmm. And I just try to have a positive outlook on everything. And then shortly after that, Tim was like, I don't know if you're interested, but like, would you ever consider working for groups? And I was like, I don't know. I kind of told myself like I wouldn't get a job because I want like creative freedom. And he was like, you're going to get that, except now you don't have to like communicate and like reach out to artists, which was taking up most of my time. Because I'm spending so much time reaching out to people and not enough time
Artists
designing.
aren't always the best at actually paying or paying a fair wage.
Exactly. So very thankful for Tim and the group fam for giving me a shot, because now there's some stability in my life, and that means the world to me.
Hell yeah, Jgriff.
I appreciate it.
All right.
You're a
That's
legend.
dicey.
All right,
You're a
we got about
legend.
90 seconds left for Tim's backstory.
I'm sorry, I spoke so much.
No,
This
dude,
episode is brought to you by
Jay.
Jgriff. Thank you very much.
I honestly, I'm glad that happened, because I think more people in this community will relate more to
I
your
agree.
story than to mine. I go and speak at colleges now, and I'll start my speech with like, my blog, you download music and put it on your iPod, and then I have to explain what an iPod is. So like, I don't think my story is as relatable.
Wait, I have to interject. I thought we were going in order of age. Does this mean I'm older than you?
And taller.
And taller. Guys, I think I'm taller than everybody. I have issues.
But yeah, no, I think, as John said, started 16 years ago. I stumbled into the music industry. I'm not an artist. Went to Notre Dame, started that music blog. And right after my first year at Notre Dame, did a summer program semester at NYU's Clive Davis School of Recorded Music, where the head of that program told me to drop out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, unreal. My mom was a teacher. My mom flew to New York. Couldn't believe somebody would say that. He said the same thing. Shout out Jeff Rabhan. Thank you for doing that. But I actually didn't drop out. Came to Nashville, went to Belmont, then dropped out. And I ran that music blog for 6 years. And I'm not an entrepreneur by like wanting to do business or anything. I just honestly listened to a lot of music and wanted to share it. And during those 6 years, learned a lot. And after I sold the last piece of it, came to the realization that I am not a good CEO. I'm not a good entrepreneur. I'm not driven by money, but I relate very much to artists that are passion driven, that things that seem rational to other people don't seem rational or seem more risky. The highs and the lows that happen daily. All of that, artists became my friends, and I saw how much they were taken advantage of in the music industry. Mm-hmm. And so like my mission was just, how can I help artists? And the easiest way for me to help artists was listen to their problems, listen to them vent. They have a lot of problems they can vent. And then figure out the person or the platform to connect them to, because that was something that naturally brought me happiness, to watch my friends have their problems solved. And then people slowly kind of had that reputation of if I have a problem or if I need to be connected to somebody, I can talk to Tim, and I know that he'll have my best interest. And throughout that time, did stuff like Indie Amplified, did a link in bio company, helped some friends sell their catalogs, did just random things here and there, but it all stemmed from how can I help artists? And when I saw what John and Mike were doing with Only Steve's, I really understood the vision and knew that I had a bunch of other friends from that blog era that I thought would benefit from it, but the platform they were on, I didn't think the tech and everything was great. So my thought was, where can I bring them? Because I want to help them. And after meeting with the founder of Patreon and OnlyFans and Substack, kind of realized I think this is something I want to bet on, that I think building community with the people that really care is something that I want to like hang my hat on. And so started groups. And at the time, I came to you guys, you and Mike, and just said, like, I want to give you guys a little piece of this because I wouldn't be doing it without y'all. But it wasn't even the intent of I want you guys to move over or I want you guys to be partners or anything. It was just homage to, I think you guys are trendsetters. And fast forward, Group has done great. And then the artist community to me was, because I'm not an entrepreneur and I'm not driven by the tech company part, how can we still have that fulfilling lifelong mission of let's educate and bring value to artists and do it at scale? Because unfortunately, we all know time is limited, and I don't have time to talk to every artist individually and hear them out and figure out how to help. So now at a scale, we can listen to problems and hopefully try to help solve. But we're not trying to give answers. We're giving stories, anecdotes, opinions, and you do whatever you want with the information. I think the most important thing, and the reason I love being in the music industry, is the wild, wild west aspect of it, that everybody that tries to gatekeep and say this is the way it's done, it literally doesn't have to be. Anybody can make up whatever percentages they want. You can set up whatever deals you want. You can have your own path, find revenue streams that have nothing to do with somebody else. And every day you get to hopefully make beautiful art that you enjoy making with awesome people. And that's what this community is to me. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Well said, Tim.
Beautiful. And that's the essence of this whole show. That's why we're starting the podcast, the Artist Roundtable. Shout out the Roundtable, because we're just in a place where education is so important for musicians. It can be really hard out there, especially if you're kind of in it yourself. And there's so many artists out there. So this will be a great place of education. We all come from unique experiences and unique backgrounds where I think we're in a position to give some anecdotes, like you said, and some stories and some advice. And we're going to have really dope guests. This is maybe the only episode we're not going to have a guest because I just wanted to introduce all of ourselves. But we're going to have some great guests coming up, and we'll be releasing these episodes every couple weeks, I think, to start out. And I'm really pumped for it. I think it's going to be really great. And just, cheers to my 17th podcast show.
There we go.
Thank you for sticking with it. Yep.
This is really great. But yeah, if you guys want to say anything to sign off, that's all I got.
No, I mean, it's pretty easy to find us, TheArtistsCommunity.com, at TheArtistsCommunity. And thank you guys if you stuck around to this long in it. I promise it's not going to be just all us talking about ourselves. This is really the most awkward of all the episodes. And chances are, if you're watching this, you probably knew bits and pieces already. I look forward to getting to know everybody that's watching this more and figuring out how we can bring value to you all. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, guys.
That's dicey.
That's dicey.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Shout out.
Wait. Yeah, what? Jonathan, did we give him last words?
Shout out Jonathan India of the Reds.
Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you for being here, Jonathan.